So we'll see some from Unit 1. Okay. So there was one question, explain the necessity of law for creation of a just society. So whether we need laws for creation of a just society or not. Okay, so laws are necessary for creation of a just society wherein members living in the society will abide by a set of determined rules and regulations. So some rules and regulations are already decided or already determined, and all the people living in the society will abide by it. And also show respect to rights of other members. Okay, like today also, if you see, there are a lot of rules and regulations that apply, which provides for rights to other people also. And we need to respect that, otherwise we are going to face the consequences under different legislation. So laws are needed for a society to function and its members to live harmoniously. Otherwise, it's not possible because of the inherent differences in the people that live in a society. So a set of established and well-defined law serves as a norm of conduct for citizens. We know that these are certain things which we need to follow. If we do not follow it, we are going to face consequences. So that's how it becomes easy to maintain the society, to maintain peace and harmony in the society, because we have a set of rules and we know what we should follow, what we should not follow. So that helps in removing chaos, and it's not like survival of fittest. Whoever is able to fight back, those people only would survive. But we even have laws, we even have provisions to provide extra support or additional support to minorities, right? So it's not about survival of fittest, but rather it's about how everyone can live peacefully. For that we need laws. Okay, so what is just society? Just society is one in which each person is socially and economically secure, and where the state is politically, legally, and administratively inclusive and fair. So state is inclusive and fair. State is as such not discriminating that we are going to only support these people and not the others, and it's not being fair or something. It's not like that, but state is fair. If someone needs additional support, extra assistance from government, they are going to provide that also, like minority benefits, whatever government is providing, right? That's nothing but additional support that they are providing. It's also inclusive. They think about benefit of all the people taken together. Even though someone is a religious minority, linguistic minority, even their rights are also being recognized. So this is nothing but what a just society is, where everyone is having security of life and everyone is treated in a fair way. And state is also inclusive. It tries to take everything together, not like they are discriminating against someone or something. Okay, so John Rawls, what are his views regarding just society? John Rawls, an influential American philosopher of the 20th century, in his great work, A Theory of Justice, has set out standards for a just society in form of two principles. So there are two principles that prevail in this society. First of all, a just society would protect the strongest set of civil liberties and personal rights compatible with everyone else having the same rights. So there are some basic civil liberties and personal rights, like right to privacy, right to freedom of speech and expression, right? Similarly, freedom to move throughout the territory of a country. These are certain basic rights that need to be protected. So first of all, a just society will try to protect these basic rights. Secondly, it would tolerate economic inequalities only if they improve the situation of poorest and most marginalized people. Okay, so economic inequalities it will support or it will tolerate. What kind of economic inequalities? For example, doctors are paid more as compared to other professions because they want to encourage people to enter into medical profession, because it's a socially necessary profession, right? Because as population increases, we need more and more doctors, so they are paid more. Same ways you can talk about economic inequalities that might prevail in different jobs are having different salaries or different wages, right? Those things are tolerated because there are different responsibilities or risk factors involved, right? Like pilots are paid way more, air hostesses are paid more because those jobs include their own like problems are there. Also it's a risky profession, right? So considering those factors it would be done. It's nothing but economic inequalities. Sometimes it would be tolerated depending on the situation. Okay, Aurelius Auguste was born and raised in the Roman province of North Africa. During his life, he experienced the injustices, the corruption, and erosion of Roman Empire. So he has seen the problems that prevailed in Rome. He, this personal experience that prevailed during that time and the ideals of Christianity, tension with ideals of Christianity, provided him with dramatic backdrop for his religious axiology. According to him, peaceful order is a genuinely in a genuinely just society can be established by following two basic rules: the people harm nobody, and that they should try to help everyone to the extent that they can do so. So we can make a society just, or harmony or order would prevail in a society if these two rules are being followed. Okay, first of all, people will harm nobody. If no one is harming another person, definitely there is going to be peace, harmony, and order in the society. Then people are self regulated, we can say. And also, they will try to help the other person to the extent possible. So, in that ways, people are supporting another person also. So, in that ways, we can ensure that the society is just and peace and order prevails in the society. According to him, a just society must protect basic liberties equally for all of its members, including freedom of thought and its necessary condition, freedom of expression. However, to guarantee these freedoms and protections to create a just society, law is very much necessary. So it says that there are certain basic liberties which needs to be equally protected for all members, right? So if you talk about India, Constitution of India tries to protect these basic liberties, right? It's given under Article 19 of Constitution, and it is protected and it is guaranteed to all the citizens of India. So this is nothing but it ensures that people are able to enjoy these basic rights. To guarantee these freedoms and protections to create just society, law is very much necessary. Simply saying that you have freedom of speech and expression is not enough. It has to be protected by way of some laws, by way of some rules and regulations. What will happen if my freedom of speech and expression is violated? Right? So there is provision under Constitution. I can directly go to Supreme Court and file a case. Like that, law is very much necessary so that these basic liberties can be protected and can be properly guaranteed and ensured to people. Okay, then Wallen viewed that in a just society, human goods are more or less deeply embedded as conditions of human action. There are two levels of basic goods. So when we talk about basic goods, there are two things that we need. First of all, the basic necessity that we have studied since our school days: food, clothing, and shelter. Right? These are nothing but basic necessities that we have. So according to him, food, clothing, shelter, and protection from physical harm, right? That nobody else should come and other people should not come and kill me or harm me. That's nothing but absolute necessity for a meaningful human action. In order to live peacefully, we require these basic needs. Then there is a second level of basic goods. Okay, first level is food, clothing, shelter, and protection from physical harm. There is a second level of basic good that comprises of less deeply embedded ones. Like first ones are very basic, right? If we do not have a right to survive, other rights are meaningless. So those are like very basic, and these are like a little bit less basic, you can say. So what are these? Such as basic knowledge and skills, such as which are imparted by education, social structures that allow us to trust one another, basic assurance that we will not be exploited, and protection of some basic human rights. So certain basic things we need, like we say, right to education is a fundamental right. 6 to 14 years free education is provided to kids. Why that is provided? Because education is like a very basic need. Even if somebody is not going for higher education, basic primary education the person must get, right? So those are protected. Then some skills also we need to survive, right? There are so many life skills we say that we require in order to survive, in order to sustain in the society. So those are also needed. We need some social structures that allow us to trust one another. When we say social structures, it's a concept from sociology. Like marriage is a social institution, right? There are certain social structures, marriage, family, certain customs prevail. Those are certain basic things that prevail in the society which help us trust each other, right? And also we need some basic human rights which needs to be protected. We have Constitution of India providing for fundamental rights. Apart from that, there are many other legislations providing so many different rights. Like under Indian Contract Act, we know that if we are entering into a contract, tomorrow the other person cannot simply violate the contractual obligations. They will have to perform the contract. So these are nothing but second level of basic goods that are a little less important as compared to the first level. Okay, a just society has a duty to provide basic goods equally to all its members if it can do so. If it can be provided, it should be provided equally to all. So if you look at the Constitution of India, you will see this fundamental freedoms. These are guaranteed to all the citizens of India, right? But when you talk about right to education, that's not guaranteed that, okay, up to 100 years, 120 years, right to education is there. It cannot be guaranteed, but it's guaranteed only for kids between 6 to 14 years, because that is what can be done, right? How much ever it is possible, to that extent, it should be given equally to all. So equally to all kids between 6 to 14 years, they have right to free education, but others might not be able to claim free education. But things get more complicated with regard to secondary goods. A just society will try to provide the first level of secondary goods, those that are life enhancing, equally to all its members. So certain things are there which like when we talk about human rights, so many human rights are there. For the state, it might not be possible to provide everything, right? But they will try to provide life enhancing things to people equally. Like when we talk about primary education, it's something which is very basic, so that they are trying to provide equally to all kids between 6 to 14 years. Okay, that's nothing but a way of creating a just society. Providing these basic needs and facilities to members of the society is possible only when there are adequate laws to cover the same. Simply saying that you have this basic goods, you have that basic goods is not enough. We need proper protection of it also, and protection can be done by way of laws only. So we require laws which will protect these basic level of rights. So creation of just society is nearly impossible or will be a chaotic task in absence of law. When laws are there, people will be self-regulated because they know if I violate this right of another person, a case may be filed under so-and-so provision of constitution or some other legislation. Okay, so the importance of law in a society cannot be undermined. A society cannot function or run smoothly without laws. It is in fact laws that regulate almost each and every action of our behavior and make the society livable. If you talk about the society at present day situation, we have thousands of legislations which regulate each and every action of us, right? So without laws at present we cannot even think about existence of a society. Laws have become so important which regulate each and every action of our behavior, right? So this is why we need laws for creation of a just society. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.